Okay, so basically what happened was there was a Zumba class scheduled, and I was so excited, and I went down to a room where it was going to be in, and there was nobody there, and I tried to ask someone to open the door for me, and then I asked at the counter, and they said, oh, the person should be there, maybe they're just late. So I waited, and I waited and waited, and then 2 other women showed up. And they were also waiting for the class. So I knew that the problem wasn't on my end.
Yeah.
So they came and we ended up trying to problem solve the situation together. And we ended up having a really nice conversation, actually.
Interesting. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I mean, have you ever had, like, when you've gone to a gym or a yoga class or anything, have you ever had the teacher not show up?
Yeah, I think it's happened for sure. I love Zumba. I go every Monday, but luckily the teacher usually shows up. But actually, yes, it did happen once at my gym here in Boston. I remember, and we were all just standing there kind of lost, and we didn't use it as a moment for connection, unfortunately. But it definitely can be, right?
Right. I know it, but it was so disappointing because I was so excited. I had my workout clothes on. So I ended up using the machines, but, yeah, I mean, we were all waiting for the class. I was the first one to arrive, and then we spoke. And I just wanted to talk about that a little bit because, like you mentioned, cell phones, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times people just sit and stare at their cell phones, but we had to problem solve the situation because we were all waiting. We could have just stared at our phones, but for some reason, no one ended up doing that. And so it was so nice. So I wanted to talk about that a little more today.
I wonder if some of this is because you're further south. People are a little friendlier than in New York or Boston. Do you think? Or no?
I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe that's an interesting theory. But it was so nice. I mean, we weren't avoiding eye contact. We were just awesome. Being present in the moment. So, how did this go, and what can be learned from my experience? Because I think for our listeners, it can be frustrating because they want to learn and practice their English, but, you'd get to a situation like this or waiting for the bus or anything, and it's just the cell phone. And so it feels even harder to start that conversation.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So when you can have a unique moment like this, it's like you walk away from it, whether it's in your native language or your second language, you walk away from it feeling like, feeling a sense of connection, not just with the people, but with the world. It's a nice feeling. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. That's how I felt after it. If I had just been in my phone, I probably would have felt like a lot more angry about the situation.
Yeah. That's so cool. So this is awesome. So I feel like our listeners can listen in today to learn how to get the tools to actually do this in English, like turn it into a connection moment in English. Right, Michelle?
Absolutely. So what can we learn from this experience? So the first thing is, about problem solving. So if you're problem solving, I think it can be easy to connect, right? So don't, after the problem is solved, don't just, stop connecting, keep it going. But let's, when we were problem solving, we had to work together. We couldn't just all stand there, right? So what are some of the things I may have said, Lindsay?
So you could have said, oh, are you here for the class, right? To make sure everyone's here for the same purpose. And then you could say, it's supposed to be here, right?
Right. Because just making sure everybody's in the right place.
Yeah. Right. Because that could happen too sometimes, that you're in the wrong place and you made a mistake and the class is already going underway in another part of the gym.
Right. Should we move on to the next one?
Yeah. Those are 2 ways to kind of get on the same page with the people and like call them together and be like, hey, are you in the same situation I am? Right.
Right. Then we realize, okay, we're in this together. Now let's, move on. We even tried calling, the teacher and couldn't get in touch.
Oh, interesting. So I wonder what ultimately, at the end you could tell us what ultimately
I don't know what happened. Actually, I still don't know.
Oh my gosh, not cool.
I know, it was so sad. So the next thing we did was we transitioned into a conversation based on what we knew about each other and our surroundings or mutual,